doing? My name's Dave, and if you've got a thing for programming really esoteric synths from ancient times, you can call me Daveypoo, the Mobile Music Minstrel. How you doing? Alright, I'm back with iVCS3 today, and I'm going to take you one small step closer to understanding this magnificent beast. So, I'm going to focus on only one little thing today to take you incrementally closer to that massive understanding. Right now, we are back with the patch that we set up last time here. We have got a basic patch set up. I am doing, as you can see, channel 1. The control inputs are going to oscillator 1 and oscillator 2. I've got the sawtooth wave from oscillator 1 and the square wave from oscillator 2 going into the filter section. The filter is going into the envelope. The envelope is going out to the output. And then I have the trapezoid signal is the control input for the filter. And we get this. No big deal. That's what we did last time. That's pretty easy to recreate. You want to know how to do it? Go watch my other videos. And in this one, we're taking it a step further. So, on the back panel here, we got all sorts of mad craziness, and hopefully we're going to conquer some of it today. Let's go back to the front for a second. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect the trapezoid from the filter frequency. We're not going to use trapezoid today to control the opening and closing of the filter. We're going to use the envelope shape of a sample from the sampler section on the back of this, the second panel of this synthesizer. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to take channel 2 and we're going to route the control input from channel 2 into the filter. Then we're going to go on the back panel. If you look over here, input 1 and 2, previously I had both of them on DKKS, meaning the keyboard was sending the control signal out for everything, and we were really only using input channel 1. Previously, we were really just using the keyboard to control the pitch of the signal, okay? But now we're going to use input 2, we're going to set it to mic sampler, okay? This is a three-way switch. The left-hand part is DKKS, which is the keyboard. The middle is mute, and on the other side, it's the mic and sampler. So you can see over here, it turns on this little panel, and down on channel 2, you can see I already have a sample preloaded in there. Now, previously I had talked about James Edward Cosby. Hey, look at that! I didn't put an R in the name this time. That's because I've been thinking about it, and I've been editing other videos. I can learn. So, James Edward Cosby has done some amazing things pushing the technology of this particular app. And between him and Alessandro from Apesoft, they've implemented this sampler section. And what it does is it's reading the envelope shape of this particular sample. Now, we're not using the sample as a sound. Not in this case. That's something that you can do. We'll talk about that in another video. But for now, in this instance, we're going to use the envelope shape, and that envelope shape is going to open and close our filter for us. If we, over here, we've got a little folder symbol, so we open that up, and that throws up all of our built-in samples, and then if you keep scrolling down, there's a user section, shared folder, okay? You can see in here JEC. These are all of the files that he included with his presets, so when you go and you pick up his presets, it comes with all of these control files. I'm going to choose envelope brass, and I'm going to choose load to sampler channel 2. Now, it looks the same because I just loaded the same sample in there. It's been giving me this loading thing on here. I think that's an iPad OS issue because this is, I'm running iOS 13.1 or iPad OS 13.1. So, you know, I'm experiencing a few bumps and bruises, but nothing I can't handle. I really like the upgrade. Anyway, so just disregard that for the time being. All right, so let's look at this. Right now, we've got another three-way switch here off DK, meaning the keyboard, and here's sequencer. I'm going to set it in the middle. What that means is that when I press down on a key now, the keyboard is going to tell the sample to play, and because I've mapped it on the matrix here, channel 2 is going to control the filter. So let's hear it. And you can hear the filter opening and closing when it runs through that sample. Now, I can set the rate, which is how fast it plays through that sample. So you kind of get the rate. That's your own little miniature ADSR there for the sample. I can shorten the sample. If I click this, I can do this. Just set it to be that. So it'll just keep re-triggering over and over again if I want to do it fast. Okay. If I slow it down. No, I'm going to do this again. This will automatically reset it back at the top. Okay, you have all the information here on the bottom. So I can load in another sample. Let's go in here and let's load in, let's pick one that looks good. Wobble into channel 2. And we'll close. We'll see we have a different shape here now. Ooh, I like that. Let's do this. I'm going to move that smaller. Now, if I go back to the front panel here, and I go up to the envelope, okay, so not that hard, right? Input channel 2 needs to be set to mic sampler. We have it set. Setting this to down makes it affect it less, and flipping it to up makes it affect the envelope more. Not sure what's going on there, but you know, you heard it here first. This is just a two-way switch. I'm going to leave it up because it sounds better. Okay, so now we're going to control the filter with not just the keyboard. Now we're going to control it with the sequencer. You got to remember, like other things on this synthesizer, the sequencer doesn't work the way you're used to using sequencers. So bear with me here and we'll go through it a little bit. So first thing we need to do is here we need to flip this switch over to sequencer. Now, if you look up at the top here, all of these white things, if you tap on any of these white blocks, they turn pink. Pink is an active signal. What that means is that anytime there's a pink block and the sequencer runs through it, that's when it's going to send out a signal. So I'm just going to put some random stuff in here so we can hear what some various rhythms are going to sound like for the filter. If you look down here, just underneath the white and pink blocks, you've got a tempo sync here. You've got the on-off switch for the sequencer here. Okay, whether it runs forward or whether it runs backward. You can set this to repeat, or you can set it to be random. You can increase or decrease the number of steps all the way up to 32. Here you can tap tempo. And right next to that you can set the tempo manually. Or you can tap on this and you can choose what kind of note you want it to be, an 8th note against the tempo, a 16th note against the tempo, okay? If we keep going over, we got to go all the way over to envelope gate. Right now, envelope gate is set to the middle position, which is the keyboard. If we go to the left, it's both. It's both the sequencer and the keyboard. If we go over here, it's just the sequencer. So now we're using the sequencer to control the filter. Now, if I press down, if I turn on the sequencer here, and I press down on a note, okay, so I was incorrect. You got to have it set in the center because you're telling the envelope, you're controlling the gate of the envelope, right? So what that means is that you're telling it when the envelope turns on and off, and so that is controlled by the keyboard. But you can see now as I hold down a note here, the envelope is being triggered by the sequencer. Now look, this is complicated. There are a lot of different knobs. There's a lot of different things. Is it worth all the effort to dive into? Well, if you're watching this video and you've gotten this far, then clearly. But, you know, if not, then it's not. Then go do it on a different synthesizer or go pick up one that has a preset that you like. I mean, there's no reason you have to go through the trouble of learning this if you don't really want to, but I find this stuff fascinating, so we're doing it. So, you know, now, if I want to maybe, now I'm randomizing it a little more. It's jumping between random ones. If I can do this, I can slow down the tempo. Let's set the rate up down here. If I set a different set of notes, now it moves through the sequencer at different speeds. So there you go. That's how you can use the sequencer and the sampler to control the filter settings in iVCS3. Remember, these are just sending control signals, so it doesn't have to be routed to the filter. It could be routed anywhere you want. You could send it to any one of these controls that are here on the pin matrix and use those same, the envelope from the sample or the settings from the sequencer to fire any number of things here. I just use the filter because I feel like it's the clearest audio example of what's going on, but there's a lot to explore back here on the back panel, and you can do some really crazy stuff. So thanks to James Edward Cosby, C-O-S-B-Y, Cosby. I got it right. So thanks to James Edward Cosby for really helping me walk through this and understand a little bit so that I could tell you guys how to walk through it and understand a little bit. I hope this helps. I hope you liked the video. Give it a thumbs up if so. Make sure you go check out ApeSoft. I love ApeSoft's app. If you haven't figured out already, I love Ape Matrix. I love iVCS3. I love what they put out. So keep doing what you're doing. Hey guys, subscribe to the channel if you want to know more. Do all the standard YouTube stuff. Print out a shirt that says Daveypoo is awesome. Get a Daveypoo tattoo right across your forehead here so that everybody knows that you like my stuff. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next freaking time. Hey! Talk to you later.